I have a question about the syringe add-on. Do you think it needs a nerf or a rework?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking insane. I feel like I'm kind of torn because I think there's like two schools of thought here. Like one school of thought is like, you should leave OP things in the game because they're like enjoyable, you know what I mean? Like for instance, if you're playing in like competitive places, they can just like not allow it. But then that way, like in public places, you can like leave some stuff that's like OP, that way it's like fun, right? But on the other hand, it's like, it is fucking OP. Like let's be real, it's way too strong.
I have a question about the syringe add-on. What kind of nerf do you think it needs? It needs to be reworked, it needs to do something different. There is nothing in the game that should give you a free heal. Sorry, that's just things that could give you a free heal. Second wind, moment of glory. All of these are perks that are like, after you do this, then you passively heal over X amount of time. That's fair, that's fine. You invest a bit of time and then it's rewarded. That's, and hopefully you make good use of that time, right? So I have no problem with perks that heal you passively with certain rules. But a perk or an item that heals you passively for doing absolutely fucking nothing? Yeah, it's stupid. Maybe syringe get rid of status effect. I think that's one of the suggestions that I made some time ago. But I mean, to be fair, it is a little boring, so maybe there could be a more fun one. Like, let's be completely real, chat. Let's not forget that the reason why these add-ons exist is because survivors still don't win that much with those things. And why do survivors still not win that much with those things? Because killers also have stupid fucking things.
Question about the syringe add-on. Do you think it needs to be a nerf or rework? Dude, back in the day, the syringe used to insta-heal like that. You pop it, you're insta-heal. Or it would pop you up off the ground. No Frida, no Frida.
I never really used them, but I mean, if I'm being honest, if you can't hit a survivor in like 16 seconds, like the default time, then probably a skill issue. But I don't think that it should be affected by perks. Because I do know that if you have like a syringe coupled with like blah, 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 it can affect the healing speeds. I think it should be 16 seconds across the board.
The syringe add-on. Do I think it needs a nerf? The cringe syringe? I don't really think it needs a nerf, I suppose. I think it's fine. It's super annoying and strong, but there's a lot of super annoying strong shit. Same with the stiff dick.
From the perspective of someone who plays Huntress every day, all day, as a Huntress main, the syringe add-on hasn't really made a difference in my matches. But it very well may. Maybe for like your Trapper players, you're going to need to ask like a Clown or Trapper or Spirit player or something.
Thank you for the 100 bits. Needs enough for a rework? I guess it needs a rework, right? It's not really a fun item to have it in the game. It used to be way worse though. I think it could use some tweaking, sure. Be able to heal yourself without pressing any buttons seems kind of dog shit and lazy. I think they could make it a bit more tiresome to use. You know, if everyone brought one in, it's fucked. And I feel like the syringes, while they've been nerfed, they're still kind of in that area of like, stupid.
The syringes aren't that strong against a good Huntress? Not in my experience. When I play Huntress, I usually get a 4K when they have syringes. Because the thing with Hunty is that she could injure people so fast, like Crossman. Huntress has no big deal, at least in my experience. You can ask Dead. Yeah, Dead probably has a good answer to that.
I appreciate it there, Kuruno. Big support there. You think it needs a nerf the syringe? That's fine. I don't really care.
He said he doesn't really care? Okay. So then maybe syringes don't need a change. It's a surprising conclusion.
Syringe add-on. Do you think it needs a nerf?
Not a flat nerf, but a rework. Just make it more interesting. I want them to change it so that when you use the add-on, it only consumes the add-on and not the medkit, and instantly removes mangle and hemorrhage instead. I think that would be kind of interesting.
A nerf or a rework? Great question. Personally, not really. Like, it's an ultra rare, so I think it is fine where it's at. Like, I do see it, but I don't see it like super duper often to the point where it's like abused. It's better than where it used to be. It definitely is better than where it used to be, 100%. I think syringes are in a decent place. I think they're okay. I don't think they really need too much of a change or a rework. I think botany shouldn't proc. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
My opinion, yes. I think purely because there's so many other healing options already. If they didn't have perks like do no harm or make it, I'd say it's fine. I think having everything like that is just a bit too much. That's just my opinion though. I think now we have do no harm and perks like that, it's a bit, we don't need syringes like that anymore.
Do I think the syringe needs nerfed? Why do you have to ask me these tough questions on a Monday morning? Oh wait, it's Monday on a Monday night. Here's the issue. Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, I feel like it depends on the person using it, right? Like, if the person using it's a really good survivor and is good at looping, most likely he's going to be able to pop that syringe off before getting hit again. A person who's, you know, not as good may or may not be able to get it popped off, right? Again, it's usually like Swifts that are bringing the syringes. I use them from time to time. I don't really think they're that crazy. If I was in a full Swift and they were all using it, then yeah, sure. You also got to think like who's the killer as well. Like, who's the killer? Is it a top tier killer or a bottom tier killer? Is probably not going to reach the survivor by the time the syringe popped. A good killer is probably going to get to him most likely before that syringe pops off. So it's just so situational. Like, can you base the top 10% of DBD players using it to the rest of the 90% and nerf it because of that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think, Chrono? What do you guys think? Do you think it needs nerfed? If anything, maybe extend the time it takes, I guess. Like, I don't think it's game breaking. You know what? Now that you asked that, just nerf Dead Hard. Might as well. Let's get to it. Nerf Dead Hard.
I'm a killer main in Dead by Daylight. I have almost 10k hours in the game. We do a lot of competitive win streaks. I hold several world records. I love teaching people about the game. Corona, I think that the syringe is a remnant of the past Dead by Daylight that desperately needs a rework of some kind. Greatly increase the time that it takes to heal. The fact that you can just heal while doing anything, like, it's been a problem. They have addressed it. It has gotten better, but yeah, I think just adjusting the values. It's obviously not very fun to go against 4 syringe gamers in a Swift, right? 1 is fine, you know, 1, 2 is fine, but 4? No. Like, I've beaten 4 syringe lobbies. For killers that are, like, kind of weaker, it really does suck. Compared to other things in the game, at this point, I don't think syringes are the worst things in the game, but I definitely think that some adjustments could be made to the values. That's the thing about syringes, right? It minimizes downtime of healing so much because you can heal while you do the gen. Right? If you can heal while you do the gen, you're doing 2 things at once. Syringes may be a healing add-on, a healing item, but they are very much so tied to gen efficiency, and it feels like shit sometimes.
Where do we even start with syringes? Because detailing the annoyance of syringes is kind of a multi-layered thing, honestly, because it affects all killers differently. It's really, really strong. Really immensely strong. The most common use of syringes is to pop it while close to the killer in chase, and then trying to last as long as possible so you can heal up right in the killer's face mid-chase and extend chase even further. When even 16 seconds is a pretty big deal when it comes to time in Dead by Daylight, because, you know, having 16 seconds gone and then just suddenly having a whole health state hit and then having to extend the chase even further, that's extremely detrimental and can snowball an entire match against you. Problem, like I mentioned earlier, this affects different killers disproportionately. When I'm playing Xenomorph, I have an anti-chase ability. I have the tail attack. So if somebody pops a syringe in my face and they go running ahead of me trying to play safe, you can just tail attack up and over and prevent them from trying to get value out of it. In that sense, it's almost kind of fun in that regard because it becomes kind of like a time attack or a time trial, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, the problem comes in where you have M1 killers, kind of low-end M1 killers without any anti-chase abilities or movement abilities. Ghostface is a great example of this, pops a syringe in your face. You just gotta hope they don't have enough pallets. You gotta hope that they're not a very, very good survivor. With M1 killers, you know, good old men with knives, you just don't really have the tools to circumvent the chase quick enough unless the survivor makes an egregious mistake. But, like, I feel like a lot of people who play Survivor casually bring syringes and they don't see those same crazy results that they see other players get on Twitch streams and comp games, that sort of thing, because, well, they're not at even the medium level yet. So I think that's where a lot of, like, the syringe defense comes from, is you kind of do have to have a certain level of awareness of, like, hey, I need to play safer. I need to play okay. They're just not at that level that they're seeing those results. So they have a different view of the add-on than, like, anybody even at the medium level can see. My main issue with why I am not a tremendous fan of syringes is just that syringes can be used also just outside of chase, just whenever. This allows survivors to progress the game and heal at the exact same time. So what would be a better version of this add-on? Ideally something that preserves the high stakes pop mid chase kind of time trial kind of aspect of the add-on, but disallows the syringe popping in the distance and allowing them to progress the game and heal simultaneously. Of course, the former would likely need some sort of adjustment because M1 killers would still suffer pretty poorly under this, and weaker killers in general. But then again, I don't know about that because like, I think that's a problem with them. I think that's more of like a balanced discussion and not like specifically a syringe discussion because M1 killers need a lot of help in general with a lot of different add-ons. So I don't know if we go down that route, but what I do know for sure is just healing in the distance and being able to do everything else at the same time. That's really wrong. So I would at least do that part. And I want to say that like you're fully within your right to dislike that. It's been a hard thing for a lot of people to swallow, and some people frankly just can't. It may not be for everybody. Those kinds of perks and items are kind of like sometimes the only thing that brought somebody to the game.
If you saw a syringe once every few games, it usually wasn't big enough of a deal to complain about are syringes too strong. The answer is yes, they are still too strong. They're not super overpowered or anything like that, but they do need a nerf. I think the main busted thing about a syringe is not the passive nature of it. I think that's okay, because again, the thing that is too strong about it is simply the speed, in my opinion. It just heals you too quickly. The problem is it uses all of the modifications to heal speed. Or God forbid you have We're Gonna Live Forever, or you have We'll Make It. Now you're healing people passively in 8 seconds. I think that's really the main issue. Now, if it's a killer like Blight or anyone that's got, vast movement speed, sure, they can catch up and hit you. It doesn't punish the really strong killers. Nurse, again, basically all of the best killers are not nearly as affected by syringes as the weakest killers. What the hell's a pig gonna do on the game? You drop a safe pallet, pop a syringe, hold forward. That's it, you're gonna get healed, and there's nothing that killer can do to stop you from getting healed. And that's one of my biggest problems with it. And if we adjust the speed of it, then I think that will make the disparity a lot different. If we make it take, 30 or 40 seconds, that does give even an M1 killer at least time to just catch back up and get in range to start even trying to hit them. Yeah, there might be another loop involved, but at least they can't just hold forward and be healed. If we make the timer take longer and make it not affected by any changes to heal speeds, also you can still get insanely good time efficiency, but it's not abusable really in a chase anymore. It's the speed of the heal, I think, that is the most broken part about it. Again, the passive nature is, again, very impactful, and I get that, but it's an ultra rare add-on, so I'm okay with it having that passive nature. I think that's okay, albeit a bit strong. It's just the speed. If we make it so it's a consistent 35 to 40 seconds, unaffected by heal speed modifiers, I think the complaints about syringes go away.
Dude, I've talked about that. It's the same thing as crutch perks, right? When you tell somebody, oh my God, you're using a crutch perk, right? That is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Any perk, any add-on, any item that you use to benefit you or to improve your gameplay is a crutch. You cannot just say Noed is a crutch. You cannot just say Dead Hard is a crutch. You cannot just you can't say certain add-ons are crutches, but not others. They're all crutches. That's the whole fucking point.